Hi, this is Jaya. In this video, we shall see the summary of Runagate Runagate, a poem by Robert Hayden. The poem portrays the harrowing plight of African American slaves who escaped from their masters, honoring their noble pursuit of freedom. The word runagate means runaway slave. The poem also alludes to important historical figures such as Harriet Tubman. Hayden was the first black writer to serve as laureate consultant in poetry to the Library of Congress. Runagate Runagate is divided into two sections. The first stanza opens with the image of a slave running and stumbling in the night, pursued by hunters and their hounds. He struggles to see what lies before him and is determined to cross the river ahead. He wonders when he will reach his destination, urging himself to keep running and not look back. Thousands of slaves from the south have made their way to the northern states where they are permitted to live free. The north is described as a mystic star shaped city found in the Bible. The poem also draws on spiritual imagery, invoking figures like Ezekiel and Jehovah to underscore the slaves' hope for divine deliverance. While some slaves are determined to head north, not all are fortunate enough to reach their destination alive. Whether they end up dead or free, both fates represent an escape from the slaver's whip. The next stanza imitates wanted posters from the past that were used to encourage the capture of runaway slaves. The first advertisement describes Pompey, a 30-year-old black man. The second advertisement describes Anna, a woman of mixed race, with the letters E branded on her right cheek and R on the left. To end the first section, the voice of a slave declares that he will die before he serves another master. Using the North Star as a guide, he runs towards his freedom. He also bids Susanna, a common name for black women in slave songs, not to cry for him. The second half of the poem begins by describing Harriet Tubman, the famed abolitionist. Under the cover of night, she led countless slaves to freedom. The bright moon sometimes made it difficult for them to hide from the patrollers and their bloodthirsty hounds. However, Harriet would turn to her companions with a pistol and threaten them, proclaiming that they can either keep on going now or die. The next stanza is another wanted poster offering a reward for the armed and dangerous Harriet, dead or alive. She is declared to be conspiring with fellow abolitionists William Garrison, Frederick Douglass, and John Brown. Prominent American intellectuals such as Louisa May Alcott, Ralph Waldo Emerson, and Henry David Thoreau are also named as her allies. The voice of a slave asks the biblical figure Ezekiel if he can see Jehovah coming to deliver them. A call from the Underground Railway summons the shadows of faces and voices hidden in the leaves, calling for the slaves to ride the ghost story train to freedom. The train passes through wild settings such as swamps, savannas, and caves. This passage is called the Midnight Special as they travel at night to evade capture. The first stop is named Mercy, while the last is Hallelujah, pertaining to the salvation of slaves through freedom. Finally, the poem ends with the voice of a slave, encouraging others to ride the train as they are all meant to be free. The poem goes like this: runs, falls, rises, stumbles on from darkness into darkness, and the darkness thicketed with shapes of terror, and the hunters pursuing, and the hounds pursuing, and the night cold, and the night long, and the river to cross, and the jackmark lanterns beckoning, and blackness ahead, and when shall I reach that somewhere morning, and keep on going, and never turn back, and keep on going, runagate, runagate, runagate. Many thousands rise and go, many thousands crossing over. O mythic north, O star shaped yonder Bible city. Some go weeping and some rejoicing, some in coffins and some in carriages, some in silks and some in shackles. Here we understand that they are traveling only in dark, that is in night, and here it also says that before they could reach, they don't know when they will reach the destination and whether they will reach there alive, because many are in coffins also, that is, they die on their way. While some are able to reach there, and definitely the way they travel, hiding from the people who are searching for them, and the dogs which are ready to jump on them and bite them and tear their flesh. So they keep on running, just hoping for their freedom. Rise and go, or fare you well. No more auction block for me. That is, these slaves were always auctioned. One slave trader will sell some slaves to the other slave trader. No more drivers lash for me. And they'll be whipped. Throughout the day, they'll be whipped if they don't work according to the way they owners want them to work. If you see my Pompey, 30 years of age, new breeches, plain stockings, negro shoes. If you see my Anna, likely young mulatto, branded E on the right cheek or on the left. Now Pompey and Anna are the slaves, and they have posters stuck about them saying that they are missing and they are being searched. Catch them if you can and notify subscriber. Catch them if you can, but it won't be easy. They will dart underground when you try to catch them, plunge into quicksand, whirlpools, mazes, turn into scorpions when you try to catch them. So you can understand with what difficulty these slaves have escaped from their slave owners. And before I'll be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave. And all they want is, it's like one slave talking to you, whether if I am going to be a slave again, it is rather I die than be a slave again. North Star and Bonanza Gold, I am bound for the freedom, freedom bound. And oh, Susanna, don't cry, don't you cry for me. Susanna is a common name said to all these slaves, women, slave women. Runagate, Runagate. Rises from their anguish and their power. Harriet Tubman, woman of earth, whip scarred. Whip scarred means her body is full of scars which are made by the whipping she received from the owners. A summoning, a shining, mean to be free. And this was the way of it, brethren, brethren, way we journeyed from Khan to Khan. Moon so bright and no place to hide, the cry up and the patter rollers riding. Hound dogs billing in bladed air, and fear starts a murbling. Never make it, we'll never make it. Hush that now, and she is turned upon us, levelled pistol, glinting in the moonlight. Dead folks can't Jade Tauber talk, she says. You keep on going now or die, she says. Wanted, Harriet Tubman, alias the General alias Moses, stealer of slaves. In league with Garrison, Alcott Emerson, Garriott Douglas, Torrey, John Brown, armed and known to be dangerous, wanted, reward, dead or alive. So here these words as fragments tells us about the situation of the slaves and about the important people who have been their leaders and how they were wanted and how reward was given for those who are going to tell about them. And the most sorrowful thing is they were wanted dead or alive. Tell me, Ezekiel, oh tell me, do you see me? Do you see? Mailed Jehovah coming to deliver me? Hoot owl calling in the ghosted air, 5 times calling to the haunts in the air. Shadow of a face in the scary leaves. Shadow of a voice in the talking leaves. Come ride my train. Oh, that train, ghost story train, through swamps and savannah, moving, over trestles of dew, through caves of the wish. Midnight special on a sabry track, moving. First stop mercy and the last hallelujah. Come ride my train. Mean to be free. So here they are saying, come, we'll escape, we'll run away, and then we'll catch this train which will leave us to the north. That is, in North America it is said that there was no slavery there, and therefore they all thought this is a city which is mentioned in the Bible, and they all wanted to go to north so that they can be free. And for that they were running away from where they were working as slaves, and they all knew that they may reach or may not reach, but even death was a boon to them, blessing to them, because whether they are going to be free or whether they are going to die, it means that they can be free from the whips which they used to receive while they are working as slaves there. Here ends the poem. If you have anything more to add on to what I've said, please write it in the comment box. Like the video, share it with your friends, and if you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe and support. Thank you.